folks are fighting for our lives right now. This is not a joke. No more excuses. I'm going to pass this off to Sally, who is from Wyoming. Stand with us. Young folks are fighting for our lives right now. This is not a joke. No more excuses. I'm going to pass this off to Sally, who is from Wyoming. She lives in California, and Nancy Pelosi's. Thank you so much for talking.
My name is Sally Morton. I grew up in Wyoming, but I've called California my home for the past 7 years. I've become intimate with its rugged beauty and its immensity, and also its dryness. A water war is already being waged in California behind politicians' doors and in farmers' soil. I'm going to tell you all a story about one of my best friends named Lauren. On November 8th, I was at work and I saw the sun turning an orangish color. And I thought, oh, maybe it's the sunset. It was near daylight savings time. And the native Californians around me, they knew better. They said that's the color the sky turns when there's a fire. Just an hour later, I got a call from Lauren saying that she was leaving work, that she had to go up to her hometown of Paradise, California, and help her family evacuate from a fire. I called her, wishing her well, sending her my love, but I thought, could it really be that bad? This place has endured fires for years. As I commuted home that night, the air quality in the Bay Area continued to get worse and worse, and air quality warnings were dispersed throughout the area. I watched a bright red sun sink over the Pacific Ocean through haze, worrying about Lauren and her family and her loved ones. And when I woke up to smoke the thickest I've ever seen it in my life. I felt it in my eyes, I felt it in my lungs, and I can see the ocean from my apartment, and I could not make out the outline of the water. And I also woke up to the headlines. Paradise leveled to the ground. 5,000 structures burnt. People burned alive in their cars. And this deep rage, this deep sadness welled up inside of me, and I started sobbing. And it was bigger than any despair I've felt. It was bigger than me. Because we are all here for something bigger than us. And I called Lauren, and I told her, can I bring you water? Can I bring you food? Can I bring you clothes? I'll leave work. And she said, no, we're okay. My family made it out. Everybody's alive, but we have lost everything. And it was in that moment that I knew that I had to fight for climate for my life and for the lives of millions of young people.
That's right. That's right.
And as the air quality continued to worsen throughout the Bay Area, I saw how climate change will affect those most vulnerable. Those in Paradise who have lost their homes, who can't afford to rebuild, are now homeless and living out of their cars and on the streets. The people who could afford the right masks and the correct air purifiers for their homes did so, and those who couldn't afford it couldn't. The people who could drive in cars to work could avoid commutes in haze. And the air quality continued to get worse. It continued to get worse. And when it reached over 250, the schools were shut down. I have a niece and nephew, Ari and Eliza. They are 3 years old and 7 months old. And if you've ever become an aunt or uncle before, you know how much I love them. And when they're grown and they ask me, Sally, what did you do? Aunt Sally, what did you do when you heard what was happening to the earth? And I want to have an answer for them. I'm going to tell them that I showed up to this office with thousands of young people on December 10th. I want Democratic leadership to have an answer for them. Please, Democrats, hear us in demanding a Green New Deal. We stand here for millions of people who do not have voices yet. We stand here for millions of people who have already lost their voice. We are in a liminal point in history where our actions depend on the future of our very lives. So please, Democrats, hear us right now. Hear us. Rise up till it's won.
If you're just tuning in, we're here